The special lights light up the rabbit, so at night all you see is the rabbit.
I'm going to start raising rabbits. I think it'll help.
Take a lot to make a plane.
Frankie, have you met Marty Allen and Harvey been?
Many times.
A few times, huh? I understand, Frankie. This is your 25th anniversary in records. Right?
Yes, we actually started in 1945 with a couple of bombs.
I remember those early records.
And then in 1946 we got lucky with, well, actually it didn't really begin to happen until about 1947 with That's My Desire.
Right. Sunday Kind of Love, and then came That's My Desire, which was
Sunday Kind of Love was
after
yeah,
My
Desire was first.
I was a big fan in those days, am today, but...
I'm glad you added that.
No, I was in college at the time.
I know, I heard all about you. I heard you used
right.
to do a hell of an imitation.
That's right.
That's My Desire.
Little known trivia, little known facts. I had a little combo in college, and I did my own Black and Blue and my own Rapping Troubles. Oh, yeah, I was doing the whole thing.
Too.
I caught you, I think, at the College Inn in Chicago.
Yeah,
and
that was in September, I think, of
Well,
1947.
when the record broke, you were working in the club in Los Angeles, right? Wasn't it?
I was doing the song,
Vine
actually,
Street?
in Billy Berg's on Vine Street before we recorded it. And I actually made a record with a group that was working with me there. I may be wrong, but I think you're wonderful. And
Yes.
Al Jarvis, whom we just lost a short time ago, was the one who really got behind me and plugged it. And everybody wanted to know who the singer was on I May Be Wrong.
Wasn't that on the back, or didn't you do a record on the back of, for the flip side of something that Milton DeLugg...
That's the song. That's the record I'm talking about. The other side was
Pickle in the middle with the mustard on top. Right. And they'd needed a flip side for this record.
Yeah,
That was supposed to be the big hit.
The comic Artie, what was his name? Auerbach. It was his side. It was his session, and I was the barker. I was the one who was hollering Cracker Jack, peanuts, popcorn, and so forth in the background for him on that side. Then when they needed the flip side, we jammed. I may be wrong, but I think you're wonderful. And of course, Jarvis went to work on that side for me, and that prompted Mercury to sign me for a session. And on that session, I insisted on doing That's My Desire, and then
Which turned out to be the first of many big ones.
You.
Now, your real career goes back many years even before that. I think you were in and out of the business, and...
Well, I started very young.
Right, just the Bobby Breen of the early 30s. But I understand that, along with the career, that you were involved in, a lot of people are interested now because of the film, They Shoot Horses, Don't They? And I understand that you were actually involved not only as an entertainer, but also as a dancer in those early marathon dances in the Depression years.
Well, during the Depression years, and again I reiterate, I was quite young, there was no show business like we're all aware of today. Clubs had closed by the thousands. There was no TV. You couldn't break into radio. It was just like, where do you work? Mm-hmm. So when these marathons started, and the way I happened to get acquainted with them, there was one going on at the Mary Garden Ballroom at Sheffield and Belmont in Chicago.
I remember.
And that's where I used to go with a young crowd like these kids that are here, and I became a ballroom dance instructor. And that's, I first started dancing and learned how to dance with that group of kids. And started singing there, just getting up with the orchestra on Sunday afternoons and singing a tune or two. And everybody got to know that Frank LaVecchio, which is my real name, could sing a little bit, you know? And I wanted to become a singer, but I had no idea that it was ever going to really go that route. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, we all got real mad at the management and everybody else concerned with Mary Garden because they opened a marathon dance. And that took away our beautiful ballroom, and we had to dance in some little annex, you know? And we were all incensed. But then one night, Jess Stacy was playing piano, who later became the big piano man with Benny Goodman. Right. Vic Abbs was on trumpet. We had Leroy Buck on drums, and I can't remember the bass player's name. So they got me up to sing, and I sang Beside an Open Fireplace. You know, and
that's the name of the tune, not the...
Yes, that's right. I didn't even know my keys in those days, you know, what key I sang a song in. So Jess was marvelous. He says, well, just say hello to me or something. So I says, well, hello, Jess. And he picked out the right key from my sound, you know.
So what about the...
Well, there was a complete silence when I finished. And I figured, oh, mother, you know. So
Another business.
I really bombed. You know? So I started for the edge of the floor, and I couldn't get off fast enough. You know, I practically ran, and yet I didn't want to lose any dignity, you know. I got to the edge of the dance floor, and then there was absolute pandemonium. Well, I must have sung about 10 songs, and that's how I
got into
you know, I
business.
couldn't think of, you know, and that's how I started.
I must tell you that it's very vivid in my mind because at the time, I was dancing with Frankie when they called him out to sing.
Remember it well. Well, I understand, as a matter of fact,
He was 2 years old.
that you actually did, in addition to the entertaining, because I know that Red Skelton and some of the other, great entertainers have performed at these things in the 30s, but that you actually competed in the dancing.
Yeah, the
And as
MC...
a matter of fact, won one of them. And
The
have a
MC
record
that night was a man named Eddie Gilmartin. He's since gone. But shortly after that contest ended, he opened one in Baltimore, Maryland, and asked me to come along as a contestant, and that's how I started. So I won that one, and then a few years later won the one in Atlantic City that set the world's record, which I still didn't know I held until they started the research on They Shoot Horses. And when they started the research for that picture, it came out in the news that
you got the record for marathon
the
dancing.
world's record.
Well, we're not having a marathon dancing tonight, I'm sorry to say, but
Marathon singing.
we
I know.
have got the marathon singing. Could we get you to do a number?
No.
Well, I could never find enough strength to struggle all through another day, or keep a dream alive in spite of what the world puts in my way. And there would be no hopes to hope for, and no prayers for me to pray if I didn't believe. If I didn't believe in you. And with all the heartaches and all the disappointments that can nearly always crush a man, and if I didn't get to hear you say you love me, or ever feel the touch of your hand, how could I force myself to go on, keep on giving all I can, if I didn't believe, if I didn't believe in you. Oh, I know that life sometimes makes me lose faith in myself. I want to give up and say I just can't take anymore. Oh yeah, but you gave me the love, oh, the love a man needs, a love that's really worth fighting for. Oh, there would be no hopes to ever hope for, and no prayers for me to pray if I didn't believe. If I didn't believe in you. Born in the heat of the desert, my mother died, giving me life, deprived of the love of my father, blamed for the loss of his wife. You know, Lord, I've been in a prison, oh, but for something that I've never done. Well, it's been one hill right after another, Still I climbed them all one by one. But this time, Lord, oh Lord, you gave me a mountain. A mountain I may never climb. And it isn't, no, it isn't a hill any longer. 'Cause you gave me a mountain this time. My woman got tired of the hardships, tired of the grief and the strife. So tired, tired of working for nothing, tired of even being my wife. She took my one ray of sunshine. She took my pride and my joy. She took my one reason for living. She took my small baby boy. So this time